If you're looking for a new way to support the podcast, check out Dubby.gg, an energy supplement company trying to make a difference. There you can use code SIDEMISSION for 10% off your order. Thank you to Dubby for sponsoring this episode, and we hope you enjoy.
Welcome into the newest episode of Side Mission. Like always, I'm your host, Rusty Ellis, joined by just one of the boys, Matt Beck. And today, Matt, we're finally talking about Nioh 3. And we are very late on these episodes, as you'll probably notice us saying on a lot of the episodes that have gone up recently. We've been trying to take more of our time with some of these games. But Nioh 3, Matt, I think a game that we both played the demo. I know that we were looking forward to this game. I think that's a fair thing to say. I think we know the other Nioh games have been high quality, but neither of us have spent really hardly any time at all with them. But the demo was really where we both got hooked. I think I spent like 7 hours with the demo. I think you spent around the same amount of time. Why was this game different than the others? Was it the open world? I'm trying to figure out. I genuinely don't know what. I think the open world was it, but I don't know. What do you think?
I can't personally speak because of the fact that I've not actually played Nioh 1 or 2.
I played like the opening of Nioh 1. And
I watched you play that.
Nioh 1 and Nioh 2 are both very linear.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think that like when I was playing the demo, like going into this, never having played a Nioh game before, but I've heard great things about, 1 and 2.
Yep.
And I don't know, I think I definitely got like caught up in the excitement and the hype for it. Cause I mean, that first reveal trailer that we got at a State of Play last year, it was incredible. Like I know all three of us, you, me, and Kyle, we were talking about like, this is definitely going to be a game we're going to put on the list and we're going to do an episode for it because it looks really good. I played that demo, and I think I really did get drawn into the combat, like the amount of variety that goes into it. Like I like being able to switch between a samurai and a ninja.
Yes,
like on the fly, it really flows really well, especially like when you're in the middle of a combo, and they integrate. With enemy attacks, they integrate like where they glow red.
The shift
and
break,
you can do a shift break. I think that was really great, especially because you can stun them and then do a lot of damage to them.
Yep.
And with both classes, there's a good variety of weapon types too. Like, I mean, you can go from using just ninja swords, dual swords, and then axes and
the dual hatchets. The hatchets, that's what I gravitated to at first when I first started was the hatchets, but then the tonfas was what I stuck with. I liked how it was also very two distinct play styles. Yes. It was not, okay, here's one character that is just slightly faster than the other, and this other one's more of a big hulking brute. You can play fast as a samurai, and you can play very slow and methodical as a ninja. You can play both, but they definitely both feel like they have their recommended styles to play with. Your samurai is more when you get caught and you're going into battle, this is what you need to be playing as. When you're a ninja, that's when you're sneaking around, you're doing stealth, you're trying to pick guys off one at a time. I do feel like the mixing of those two play styles is ultimately where a lot of this combat does shine.
Yeah, I also like the variety in enemy types.
Yes,
like I mean, you and I, we played Bloodborne, we played Dark
Sekiro,
Souls, Demon Souls,
Elden Ring.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it almost gets to this point where in games like this, you feel like that the enemies are just going to, be very generic. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some generic enemies in this game, like the skeletons.
Yeah.
But then you got some really cool ones because they're going with, demons, like, if you know anything in the Japanese lore, like they really dig deep into like kappas, this specific type of oni that's like a freaking umbrella. Like I've seen this before in Okami.
The gigantic wolves.
The giant feathered, I can't even think of their names right now.
The Tengu.
The Tengu.
Yeah,
like,
the Tengu.
If you know Japanese folklore, like I played Okami, so I was very familiar with quite a few of them. But it was really cool to see them here. I like that they are integrated so well into like their environments. And then there's some really like big enemies that are very intimidating, like these kind of Minotaur looking ones.
Yes.
These hags. Like they got quite a few of them, and the boss fights are like where the game really shines, in my opinion.
I think the boss fights are really, really good. I think that I got very frustrated early on with the first boss in the demo because you're still picking up the stuff, and the combat is very complex early on, and it's pretty complex throughout the entirety of. But it's one of those that when you feel that click moment, it's a lot like Sekiro. Sekiro can be the hardest FromSoft game until you figure it out.
Yeah.
When you figure it out, it becomes one of, if not the easiest FromSoft game. And I think that this game has a lot of similar qualities of when you struggle early on, you struggle. You're going to get destroyed. You're going to, like a lot of these fights you get into are not going to be close with some of these bosses. Your first couple of attempts are not going to be good. But when you start to figure it out and you start to see that progress, you're like, okay, I need to pay attention. I need to look for these tells. I need to look for these reads. I need to look for all of this to really start to figure this out. And I really think that's where the game shines, is giving you that sense of progression. I think a lot of that is also tied into the fact of, I don't want to overstate when I say this, and it could be, but I've heard other reviewers say this as well, so I feel like I'm not far off, and I think you might agree. It does feel like Team Ninja gave this game almost the Elden Ring treatment, where they said, hey, we're going to take our formula that has been successful for 2 games now, 2 games that were critically and commercially really successful, and we're going to put it in an open world. We're going to try this formula out in an open world where we give you complete freedom to go off and do things as you please. There are level caps, and it is very open about the level, like, the recommended levels and all that. But I do feel like that's where this game takes that next step in the Nioh series, and where I think the series can go from here. I don't know where they're going to go, but I think that's what opens up a lot of this game is you can spend hours in the opening area. Hours. I think I spent 12 to 15 hours in the first area of maybe the 25 or so that I've played so far. And I still want to go back and do more. We just wanted to go ahead and get this review out. We've played a lot of the game, though, at this point.
Yeah, we're both at, what,
75% of the way through, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's something that, like, tomorrow on my second off day, I could probably go binge it all day and finish the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I'll end up doing because, spoiler alert, Resident Evil Requiem has taken up a lot of both of our time recently, which we're excited to review that as well. And Pocopia as well has taken up a lot of time. Those are 2 fantastic games that have come out. But I think the other thing is, like, this, and the reason why we were excited for this game, this was like the first, like, big release this year. Like, we had High on Life 3, which we're going to review soon, which was good, but it wasn't great. I don't think. Just to give you a spoiler alert of how that review is going to go. And then we knew Requiem was coming. We knew Pocopia was coming. We didn't know Pocopia would be the success that it is now.
No, we did not.
But, like, we had an idea that Requiem would be great, and it's been even better than that.
Yeah.
But for this to be, like, kind of the leadoff hitter for big games this year, that's a big spot, and I think this game really delivered.
Yeah, it was a great start to the year. After playing that demo, like, I was hooked on it. I think so far, even with the story, like, we both really aren't into the story that much. I mean, it involves, like, you basically start off, you're the main character, Takechio, something like that. You're becoming the Shogun, but your brother, I believe, is, jealous, and then he ends up betraying you
and siding with the yokai,
the clan, and siding with the demons.
Yeah.
But we also did notice that at some point he was taken over, like he was possessed, like his, darkness was, coming out. The other thing in this game that I like are the spirits.
The guardian spirits.
The guardian spirits that you collect throughout. Like, they give you these really cool abilities. Even help you with traversal. Like, there are some areas you'll see glowing, and if you don't have the right one, you can't explore more of that area.
Yeah.
Like, even
it's almost kind of Metroidvania a little bit, where it's like you come back when you have a new ability and you can actually go and explore more.
Because there's areas in the very first area that you can't fully explore.
Well, there's that Wraith Spirit that you can't get to in the demo. Like, you can get to it, but you have to kind of choose it.
Which I like the fact that when you beat main bosses, you unlock new ones.
Yes.
And you can level them up as well. What's really cool is when you fill up your spirit gauge, like, you can unleash that, and you basically get, like, this really cool, like, armor kind of, like, it's like Super Sentai.
Almost, yeah.
But, like,
Super Samurai.
I will use it in moments where it's like my health is almost low and I can't really heal, because once you use it, it, like, gives you this different type of health bar, but it drains as you get hit.
Yeah.
So if you're not deflecting left and right, then you just wasted it, really.
It's one of those that, like, it's a really good addition.
Yeah.
To this combat, because it gives you, like, if you're really close on a boss and you build that up, it's that sense of excitement, that rush that you get, where you're like, okay, I can unleash this. I at least know when this depletes, I'm not dead. Like, can I finish the fight with this? And I think that helps a lot. I think it's really good. And again, the boss fights, this is a hard game. Like, I think we can make that very clear. This is if you're going into this game expecting that, like, Elden Ring had that notion of it can be one of the hardest, but can also be one of the easiest depending on how you play.
Yeah.
This game really doesn't have that. Like, this is one of the hardest games you'll play in the Souls-like genre, and there's really no way outside of summoning to really make it easy. Summoning makes it really, really easy because we've seen people just have unbelievable abilities.
Oh, man.
And they've just destroyed bosses. But it's something that, like, you do have to get good at the game still. Like, deflecting, very similar to Sekiro.
Yes.
It's a lot more forgiving than something like Lies of P. A lot more forgiving than Lies of P. Lies of P was very, very pinpoint accurate. You had to get them right.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more give to it. But because of how much health bosses have and how much damage they can output, you can die in a couple of hits really at any point. Like it's you misplay one or two attacks and you're resetting. Like
especially if you're not like making a specific build, because that's one thing in this game has, and that I've seen, kind of as a complaint online, is the amount of loot that goes into this game.
Yes.
Like way more than anything I've seen in any like Souls-like game. Like you would literally be picking up as if you were playing Borderlands, the amount of gear you're picking up.
I will say that, like, I do feel like they balance it well. That is a little bit of a gripe. It's that it feels like I'm just constantly picking up loot and constantly changing stuff.
A lot of times it doesn't even seem to be better than what you're.
But I will say this: I feel like it is balanced by the fact that I've noticed this, that whether I pick up loot for the ninja or the samurai, it's very much loot that is geared to what I'm using.
Yeah.
Like I'm sticking to axes with my samurai. That's primarily what I'm picking up is axes. I'm not getting a bunch of just odachis or a bunch of katanas or anything else really. I'm primarily getting axes. And I like that because it's like, okay, it's at least worth me looking at it versus, okay, I've got this axe, I've been using it. Oh, well now I've got this katana or this spear or this fist weapon that is really, it's better than what I've got. Yeah. But I've not really used those, and I'm not used to the move set. Like I don't have that issue.
So it's really just catered to your playstyle.
It does end up. I think it does cater to your playstyle, which is a good balancing fact. Now it is still an overwhelming amount of loot, and that still is a little bit of a gripe. The other big gripe, because we've mentioned it a little bit, the story just kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
it's very by the books.
I've gathered, we're time traveling, we're destroying this great demon force that's
the Crucible.
The Crucible, because. Oh, that's the other thing with the Crucibles. They're basically like these rooms where you go in and you fight waves of enemies.
Yep.
Because they're scattered all throughout the map, which is cool. Yeah, which is cool.
Because it raises your spirit power. It increases your exploration level in each area, which can give you different buffs in that area. And then you have the big Crucible that you go into whenever you do a main boss, which is a whole new area that is tougher, has tougher enemies, but it also gives you more XP and gives you better gear.
Yep.
So it's a risk reward of, okay, I could go in here, I could be a little under level, but if I can survive and kill a few enemies, I can get leveled up pretty fast and I can get some really good gear to use that is going to help me out. The story, the issue is, and the story has never really been the forefront of the Nioh games. It's kind of a lot like FromSoft games in that regard. The story is not really at the forefront of it. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And if I was playing this game for the story, it would be a bigger critique. It is still a critique because the story is there, therefore I have to critique it. But does it take the game down very much? No. For me, it takes it from being a 10 out of 10 and one of the best Souls-like ever to being probably a 9 and still one of the best Souls-likes ever. Especially, you look at non-FromSoft Souls-likes, there is probably one that I would put above this, and it's Lies of P.
Yeah.
Lies of P is probably the only one I'm putting above this. I don't know. What about you?
As far as me, how I would put Nioh,
when you look at how to score this game, where you put it amongst, even including FromSoft Souls-likes, do I think this is better than something like Dark Souls 2? Yes, I think it's better than Dark Souls 2. I would say this is better than Dark Souls 3 even.
Yeah.
And I love Dark Souls 3. I love Dark Souls 3 a lot, but I think this is better than both 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, for me personally, peak is Elden Ring. That is the magnum opus for Miyazaki. Bloodborne,
which is crazy because he's openly come out and said that it's close.
It's close,
but it's not. It's not quite my ideal game yet. It's crazy.
The same guy who gave us freaking Armored Core 6 a couple years ago,
which was fantastic too. Exactly, it's crazy.
I would put, as someone who Nioh 3 is his first Nioh game, I definitely put this up there.
Yes.
I would put it before any of the Dark Souls games, personally.
Oh, so Dark Souls 1 included. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Not as good as Sekiro. I think Sekiro's better.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring are all three better than this.
If we're doing it like in tiers, I think this would be like a tier 3.
Yeah.
Because like tier 1 is like Elden Ring, Bloodborne,
Sekiro.
And Sekiro as tier 2 would be something like Lies of P.
Lies of P, yeah.
Yeah, and this would be like
I think that's fair. I think that like if I'm doing it like S tier is like there's Elden Ring, there's Sekiro, there's Bloodborne. Yeah. That's S tier. A tier I think is Lies of P. I think I'd put this in A tier right behind it though. I think it'd be right behind it for me because I do think I think that it's fair to say that I think Dark Souls 1 has an argument with it because Dark Souls 1 level design is just next level. And considering when it came out, it's super impressive. But I do think it's better than Demon Souls. I think Demon Souls is really damn good, but I think it's better than Demon Souls. And I think it's better than 2 and 3. So, I mean, I think that when you look at it, like look at other like Souls-likes that are not made by FromSoft, you look at like the Jedi games, like the Fallen Order and Survivor.
They kind of have that type of
They have that, but they don't go all the way in with the Souls-like. So it's for me, it's like I would put Nioh above both Survivor and Fallen Order. I love both games, but I'd put it above that. Like I haven't played enough of the Blasphemous games, but I know that a lot of people. Lords of the Fallen. This clears Lords of the Fallen, and it's not close. Like that's Lords of the Fallen. I can't believe they're getting a sequel. I can't believe the new one's getting a sequel. That's crazy to me. But like Thymesia is another one. There's another one that takes place during the French Revolution that I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but like I think this is better than that as well.
Is Breath of the Wild a Souls-like?
No, Breath of the Wild is a lot more similar to Elden Ring than it is anything else. But that's because Elden Ring, I think, was heavily inspired by Breath of the Wild. I think
the open world works,
I think Breath of the Wild, they took a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild. But I do think that Nioh 3, you could say the same thing. I think that a lot of the things it does, a lot of that stuff is stuff that started with Breath of the Wild. I mean, the open areas, the dungeons.
I will say Nioh 3, one thing I love about it is, story, explain the story, whatever. Just the amount of, like, if you do any of the myths that are scattered all throughout the maps, like, they are some really cool ones. Mm-hmm. Like, you basically find these spirits and, they'll kind of give you a story. And you go to these locations and you look for clues and things like that.
Like these side quests,
and then once you get to that ending, you end up fighting this boss. Like there were some really cool ones in here with like with really good story. Yep. Like I really appreciate those.
I thought that the side quests were really good. I liked them. I thought they actually had me like, okay, like where am I going? What's the story? I almost found them, and this is kind of a knock against the story. I kind of was more invested in those than I was in the main story. Too. And it's not that the main story is bad, it's just that it's just kind of there. Like that's kind of, I think that's what's frustrating is that I think this game could be perfect if it had a top-notch story that I cared about.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm so sick and tired of time traveling.
Yeah, like it's a story element that I wish
it really just feels like such a cheap way to like tell a story with time travel.
Like, could you imagine if you're playing like Resident Evil and you went back in time?
Travel from like Leon and Resident Evil 9 back to Resident Evil 4 Leon and you meet your own.
It's just it'd be weird. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really cool. It's slight spoilers for anyone that hasn't played the game or wants to play the game. Like, it's really cool that like 65% of the way into the game you go back to the very first area, but you have all these abilities now, and the other characters react to it. Like, it's really cool. They're like, oh, when did you learn that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've been practicing lately. Like, it's like, that's cool. I love that. But like the time traveling aspect of it is kind of odd. It's kind of strange. And I don't know. It feels a little out of place.
You are going back in time. You are meeting actual like figures in Japanese history.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's pretty cool.
I think that like, again, like if you've not played a Nioh game, I think this is a great entry point.
I think so.
Because there's not really a lot of ties to the previous two that I can really pick up on, and that I've seen a lot of people that have played these games talk a lot about. It feels very much like, oh, you haven't played the first two? No problem. You can jump in with this one. It's the best of the three, absolutely. And the first two are good. They're both probably 8.5, 9 out of 10 games, but I think this is above them. I
feel like having not played it, I feel like the original two are harder than this.
They might be, because I mean the linear nature of it, they're very much like if you struggle, you can't just go somewhere and get stronger. Plus, you're banging your head against that wall.
Plus, I will say this: like, I probably wouldn't be as far as I am right now if it wasn't for the summoning, because we will summon people and we will go in that boss room
And they're just broken.
And they'll just murk the hell out of them. Like, you're just watching the boss's health bar just go down as if it was your own. Like, damn.
It just disappears. And it's like, there have been plenty of bosses that me and you have fought straight up.
Yeah,
like, we've not just summoned.
Yeah.
But there are some bosses that, man, these bosses are tough. Their design and the fights are cool, but the bosses are tough. Like when you go to that temple area, and you get to the very bottom of it, and you're fighting that guy, and you get halfway through. I was playing, my girlfriend Taylor was watching me play, and she was kind of just doom scrolling on her phone. And I was fighting it, and then I got halfway through it, and they gave me a cutscene. I looked at her, I said, "That's not a good sign. That's a very bad sign." And I got halfway through the fight, and there's a cutscene. That's not good.
Yeah.
And then you come back, and he's got full health. It's like, oh, brother.
I also can't stand it when you beat a boss and they don't die. Like, at the end of the cutscene, they're still alive. Then why did you have me fight him?
That's frustrating.
If he's not going to die.
Like, I think that, to wrap all this up, I think that Nioh 3 is a fantastic Souls-like. I love this game. Like, this is a game that, end of the year, this will be in the top 10. Like, I'm very confident this will make our top 10 at the end of the year. I think borderline it could make the top 5, depending on where me and you both rank it. Because obviously, Kyle, it really wasn't for him, and I get it. It's not a game that's going to be for everybody.
He spent more time in the character customization than he actually playing the game.
Damn, he's holding like that.
I watched this man play, make his character for 40 minutes straight. Like, I'm like, play the damn game!
The character customizer, to be fair to him, though, the character customizer, very deep.
It is.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Now, I made my character very ugly. I did get to the point where I was like, all right, I'm kind of tired of this breaking the immersion for me. I'm going to make you look normal. So I did go back and change to make my character look normal. But I do think that, like, this is a game that, like, if you get into it, it's hard at the very beginning. Don't get me wrong. It's very hard. And if it dismisses you from playing it, I get it. It's very tough. But if you get through it and you get to that open world, I feel like you're going to find a game that you'll fall in love with.
Yeah. I don't see... I mean... Honestly, I think the only thing that may put people off this game is maybe the difficulty spikes here and there.
Maybe.
Like, when you're starting it off, you feel like you're really powerful. Like, you're kind of just brazing through it. But
it humbles you
when
fast.
you get to other areas, especially when you start going back in time, some of these enemies are just going to, like, demolish you. Like the troll who's off in the distance, who's throwing rocks at you. Some cheap kills I've experienced from there.
There's been some anger in our PlayStation parties we've been playing. Which that's something else we could touch on. The co-op is really good.
Co-op is really good. I haven't had any issues with that with
Performance-wise, like, obviously I had a little bit of time where my internet was going a little bit buggy and we weren't able to play together, but when it, like, evened out and my internet got back to being fine, which Verizon, weird.
Yeah, we helped each other out.
But, like, when we got into the co-op and played together, like, it was seamless. There wasn't any performance drop-off. Like, I felt when I went into your world, I was still seeing a very smooth 60. I hope you were still seeing that in my world. So, but, like, the co-op's a lot of fun, too. So it's one of those where you don't have to play the game by yourself. You can very much play with a friend. And
play with randoms.
And the thing is that there's plenty of randoms, like the Achoko Cups, I feel like are very plentiful.
They are.
You can farm them by fighting other enemies, like invaders. You can farm them up. And it doesn't take you long, if you're low on them, to build them up enough to where you don't feel bad for using them.
That's the other cool thing. You'll notice around in the world, like, these like, spears sticking out of the ground.
Yep.
The blue ones you can summon some. They do take more cups to summon, though, and they do seem to die quicker.
I think those are NPCs.
Like NPCs, yeah.
Or they're like wraiths that are like other players, but it's just their build being controlled by the computer.
And then the red ones. Have you ever fought them?
Those are them? So that's how you farm a Choco Cups.
Yeah,
is you can fight them, and it's other players that have dropped though there, and it's the computers playing as them. Yeah. I think that's why, because it summons them really fast. I don't think that's another player controlling them. I don't think it is.
Well, a small thing that I like is, like, when you die, based off how you die, the game gives you a little brief description on, like, how the enemy killed you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Comical.
It's like
you got slapped to death or something.
Or you were drowned. Or like, let's say they kill you, like they knock you off of a cliff and you just fall to your death. They'll be like, you got knocked off the map or whatever. It's like, it's one of those where it's like you can at least laugh at it a little bit and it's funny. But there's a lot of things in this game that I genuinely love, and it's a game that I think when I go back to it and I finish it, I'm gonna love it even more. I think so. I think that it's fair to say, like, if you are thinking about picking this game up, dude, there's so much content in it.
Yeah,
it's so much content, so much bang for your buck. I feel like spending $70 on this, absolutely.
Yeah, go do about 30 between 30 and 40 hours of playtime right there.
And that's if you don't replay it. That's if you don't replay it. Like, it's very replayable too.
It is.
So I think Nioh 3 is a fantastic game. I think you think it as well, and I think that it's a game that people should give a try. If you're looking for a reason to get into the Nioh series, this is the game to do that for.
Yep.
So that is going to do it for this episode of Side Mission. You can follow us on Twitter at Side Mission Pod. You can check us out on Facebook as well at Side Mission Podcast. For Matt, for Kyle somewhere in the ether, I'm Rusty. Thanks for listening.